Golden Knowledge Bite 5. How to embed a knowledge exchange culture. Individual knowledge exchange is a good start, but individuals can contribute to developing their knowledge community both internally and externally. By using processes such as quick reporting, blogging, email updating, and lunchtime seminars, a culture of knowledge exchange can easily be embedded effectively. We'll now see how BCE practitioners are embedding knowledge exchange in their organisations. To what extent has knowledge exchange been embedded into cultural processes?
Yes, I think the college is good at letting everyone know what is available out there. So, for example, the fellowships, and I've certainly already passed on some of that information to my colleagues. They're aware of what I did, and hopefully some of them will take it up in next year when it becomes available again. So the college is very good. They've also put a small article in Insight, the college magazine, which goes out to all staff electronically each week. So it's really nice the way that everyone is able to communicate things that they think are good in the culture of FE College, and pass on that knowledge across disciplines. So that's really important, I think.
The cross-college newsletter that's weekly, and in there we will share with the rest of the staff what we've been doing in the department and trying to increase our knowledge within our sector. Because I think there's some spin-off here, not just in our own sector of food and drink, but also for the rest of the college, that actually there are sources of funding available for them to enhance their knowledge for their own subject areas.
Yes, you are, and I think it's very much tied to who provides the funding for it. My second one was done by the Royal Academy of Engineering, and I therefore had to submit reports to them. To actually get leave from the university, I had to ask for a mini sabbatical, and I also had to provide reports on the outcome of those meetings. And I guess it's up to individuals to decide how much they're going to publicise what they've learned. So yes, we do run in-house seminars, and we try to talk about it as much as possible to get as many people interested in those particular schemes as possible.
There is a hierarchy in the university now that's addressing KE issues. The point for academic staff really is to feel that it's important to them. They're already playing various different roles, and I think this awareness that the management of the university is taking KE very seriously and will be measuring it is a very forceful way for academics to realise that they must engage in it. And I see my role over the next few months as trying to get the best out of some of my colleagues who perhaps have very much of a focus on research, and make them feel that actually not just research, but there are very practical applications that they could be using that research for.
I think a lot of us have been very proactive in recognising that we do not have all the skills we need in-house, and we need to get out to different departments, different industry areas, different parts of the world to find out what they have been doing. So I think that's been engendered from various forms of funding that facilitated that.
How have you formalised networks of knowledge exchange?
Within the department we already have a teaching committee, we have a research committee, we have a general staff committee, and I'm now going to introduce a KE committee which will invite people from the research and teaching sides and anyone else who feels they've got something to contribute, so that we'll meet probably 3 or 4 times a year to discuss issues and really to plan policy. And just make sure that people are engaging in this.
We've had an excellent opportunity through one of our centres at Loughborough University, where previous years we were criticised for doing research in our own individual areas, so working essentially in silos. And this group forced us to get around the table, and we all discussed the sort of research we were involved in. And quite ironically, there were lots of other people interested in similar areas, so that allows us to forge little groups of people we're not used to working with within the university. With regard to those outside the university, I think it's mainly based on a person-by-person basis. You may have heard the name and know they're interested in a particular area, and you just try to find out a bit more about this person, and more importantly see whether you can actually work with this individual to work collaboratively.
Within the department, as I said previously, about 50% of our income comes from our own work. That could be in the form of trials and development, which is where there's knowledge transfer going on between the client and ourselves, mainly on our equipment, but it could be on their product. We also offer some advice and guidance in the form of consultancy, principally in dairy, but not exclusively. And we also do some training. And in those areas, we will, if required, to work on a confidentiality agreement where the client usually specifies what it does or doesn't want to get out in public domain.
Have you faced issues around sharing, collaborative working or copyright and IP? If so, how have you overcome these?
I think normally the consultants and the academics have good trust in each other, and they can set up projects very quickly and efficiently. It is also the case that with IP and with contracts, universities are increasingly aware of the value of what they do, and industry obviously is as well, and sometimes there are contractual issues that do arise which can delay the work. Certainly I had one myself a year or so back, and it really took the academics and the consultants themselves to get together and tell the contractors, the contract sections, that there was not going to be a problem, that there was trust, and things proceeded on that basis.
Particularly when you're dealing with companies and confidential reports within companies. And what we tend to do is summarise it and have anonymous companies, so we never ever reveal the source of it, but it's just an example of this is a typical organisation and this is a scenario they faced and this is what was done about it.
I have come across that because we have part-time students who are being asked to do analysis of their workplace as part of their learning. Then we have come across intellectual property, but we usually get around that by we sign some kind of cover letter that they draw up with their solicitors, and we're able to sign that to say that we will obviously respect their confidentiality, and it hasn't been an issue. We've found ways through that.
Have you established a knowledge champion to encourage and develop culture?
All our colleagues are encouraged to do at least 5 days in industry per annum anyway, and building upon any work they might do on consultancy or any trials across the college. We tend to get away with that 5 days in our department because we're so closely working with them anyway, but it's championed through a formalised, recognised route, and we're just purchasing a new CPD software system to capture some of that data and make sure that we can prove what we're doing. We're also working with the Institute for Learning on their CPD model as well. So our lecturers, I think in the last 12 months, have started to upload some of their CPD stuff onto that web-based portal.
I think a knowledge transfer champion is somebody who has a lot of communication, let's say, with colleagues within their department, so they are aware of what people are doing, their own individual areas of expertise, the sort of contacts and projects they've worked on, and they're able to put people in touch with others. So, you know, you'd have two people working in similar areas but not necessarily know each other, so therefore that person acts as an intermediary for those two people in touch with one another, and allow them the opportunity to discuss their work together.
We have some people in the department who are actually very good at this. They are natural self-marketers, or they have disciplines that are very much to the forefront of the industry's needs. So these are the people who are up and running already. I think we're going to use those to inspire the colleagues who are perhaps slightly less forward-looking, people who don't actually appreciate that they've done something really good that someone might be interested in.